I'm your Black Lex today, baby. Now you ain't never gotta like me, that shit is overrated. You need a hero to love, I'll be the villain that you hated. When it's all said and done, you gon' love me. Me kissing babies, fucking ladies thinking of me. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the one that's supposed to lose. But I'm American, baby, so the rules all skewed for me. Steal your identity, fuck up your credit for free. Police know it's stolen, but they still make you pay the fee. And you don't respect me, for real? I'm the one that's showing you what the real world is. All these backroom deals for your kids' future. My financial aid hustle keep your kids mooching. And why you motherfuckers still stupid? The Statue of Liberty married the country, divorced and now the bitch still moving. With half of the money, alimony, child support. You know what's up when I be winning in the court, cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. They try to tell me thou shalt not steal. In the same church they tell me Jesus white, is they for real? They try to say the land of the free, minus the slavery, plus the fact that you pay for land these folks stole for free. And you wanna be Superman. Did you forget that Lex Luthor became the president? You lacking common sense, that's why the villain lives. That's why the villain's right. They turn on Superman, man, they turn on Jesus Christ. Even the devil got teams like Arizona State, Duke, the state of Jersey. That man say you're sold and he can't get a jersey. Y'all go to church on Sunday and you claim you're worthy. That's why I got my credit and I'm charging 10%. You finish paying me and you gon' pay me triple, bitch. So why'd I be a hero when a villain gets paid? And women like paid, so the villain gets laid. So I'ma be the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H-N-I-C, everybody wants to be.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. You see the title. More importantly, you about to hear what I'm talking about. So obviously I use Tyrese as an example because he decided to go to jail to prove a point, in my opinion. But another thing that, while I was working today, I was listening to just listening to YouTube, and I think Fly Nubian Queen, I think that's Boyce Watkins' channel. They were talking about the situation with child support and Tyrese. And they didn't address things that I feel like that they could have rather. And one of the major things is what I'm gonna talk about right now. Single mothers abuse the child support system. They abuse it. We got to stop acting like these single mothers, are these angelic creatures because who have good hearts and sound minds, and they have good ethics and good morals and good character and integrity and dignity and all that. No, they don't, because they already know that the system is biased towards them, and they do every little evil deed that they know they're going to get away with. So as far as character, that doesn't stop them. Being a good person does not stop them. Well, if they had a chance to be a good person, when it comes to child support and family court, there is no integrity and honor in them. There's no honor in that. So when people, sometimes people say, well, because one of the things the ladies brought up is if men want to change the family court system they need to, we need to vote the judges out who keep ruling in these women's favor, in these mothers' favor. But they don't say the other side of that. These mothers are not going to vote these people out that keep ruling in their favor. So even if all the men decided I want this judge out, all the women are going to decide I want that judge in because it benefits me or the sisterhood or whatever you want to call it. So when it comes to the reality of this situation, the reality is a lot of these women abuse, the family court system, the child support system, because they can. 1 second. And let me get back to it. And I said it for a reason. I'm watching the game and drinking hot tea because I'm not feeling that hot. So if you hear a pause every now and then, it's usually me muting because I need to drink some of this tea. So let's get into this aspect of it. First and foremost, we're not going to sit here and act like what happened with Tyrese today isn't normal practice. And what I mean by that is, if it's true, a judge basically said you're going to pay something that isn't even legal in the state that of my jurisdiction, because basically you're a man and you can't, and you got it like that. So I'm going to take a law that's not even in my state and apply it to you in this state. So at that particular point, the system, the judges already are on board with screwing guys over because they get paid. The family court system gets paid by the state, and the state gets paid by the fathers, right? So what do you think they're going to do? Rule in favor of the mother so the state can get money. That's been the normal practice, and they'll break every rule that they make when it comes to fathers to make sure fathers pay. So when it comes to this idea that it's just it's how the system is set up. No, it's not just how the system is set up. It's not just how the system is set up. It's also how the system allows mothers to take advantage of it. This is one thing I was talking earlier with my wife about this. I was like, listen, a single mother has the same rights in family court as a police officer that uses excessive force on a black man, whether that's beating or killing. They have the same rights. There will be no real consequences or recourse to those actions. And the reason I can say that is because if a black man gets arrested, pulled over, beat up, killed, what are the police going to say? We're going to do an internal investigation. We're going to get to the bottom of this, and the cop's going to get a slap on the wrist and move on to the next subject. Right? Well, if that very same cop could go home and the next day be in family court, and he has all the pictures and the evidence and the video and the recording of what the mom is doing, and guess what? They're going to do an investigation, and they're not going to do anything about it, and she's going to get a slap on the wrist. It's the same exact thing. The same exact thing. So ultimately, it becomes an abuse of the system, and these people aren't going to change anything because they're getting paid. So what is the recourse that most guys are doing? They're not having kids, which ultimately is going to hurt the bottom line of the family court system. And I'm gonna add something to that. You remember not that long ago, they overturned Roe versus Wade because in essence, they want more white babies in America. And they figure, if you force women to not have abortions, you're going to have more babies, without taking into consideration all of the men who, even the white guys, like, I'm not trying to have no kids so y'all can put me in this system. No, thank you. So even if the women say, I don't want to have these kids, and the guys say, or the women say, I do want to have these kids, it doesn't matter if they say they do or they don't. You're going to need guys to participate. And the guys are like, I'm not participating. And you can't force them. You can't tell them they're wrong because, like I said, these single mothers abuse the child support system. So now these guys looking at it like, no, thank you. That's prior to the Roe versus Wade thing, that was the rise of, let's just put it like this. That was you've seen the incline of sex workers to sex dolls, to OnlyFans. You get what I'm saying? Everything that doesn't involve pregnancy, basically. Sex without pregnancy. Basically, that's what you're dealing with. Because, all these guys know, man, I don't even want to deal with these courts. And for some of these single mothers, a child is like, puts them on a power trip. I finally got a leg up on society. I could do whatever I want. And this Tyree situation shows it once again. Now, I'm going to talk about some other things involved in this that we don't talk about enough. So, and I'm going to get to the mothers, but I'm going to get to society also. So, when it comes to the political part, right? I'm just going to say this first and foremost, because I'm going to layer this out. Feminism as an ideology failed when it came to parenting. When it came to the belief that mothers were better parents and they were natural nurturers and they were the child's first teacher, and a child raised by a mother would be more well adjusted to the world. That theory has been debunked. It's definitely a fail. So before I get to that, I'm gonna get to this. Because the family court system is so biased, and it's biased on purpose. Like I would say, the family court system is non-black men's first introduction to what racism actually is basically their equivalent to systematic racism. That's their introduction. You get what I'm saying? They don't want to admit that because they're still participating in systematic racism, but at the same time, that when they find up in a family court, they know exactly what it is. So because of that, we have some issues now. And one of the major issues is there is no consequence. There is no consequence in the court, and there is no consequence in society for the unethical practices of a single mother. There is no consequence. You don't hear women out here like, oh, you lady, you shouldn't do that. That's wrong. You're not gonna, as much as even with this Tyree's case, all the stuff that little heifer did to put herself in this position was all trifling. But you don't really hear women go, that's wrong. No, we gotta. She on her own. We gotta put her out the pasture. It's usually a silent hand clap. Like, hey, she got it. She won. She got it. And it's like, okay. So you better remember that. Because you're a lot of you single mothers don't realize you're basically entering into a space at this juncture of this modern time where guys are about to take off the gloves. Because you abuse the law. You abuse the kids, you abuse the power, and you have no consequence and recourse. And if a guy, you know, decides to go left and snap, all of a sudden he's in jail. So if he's in a lose situation, and guess what? Even if he does all the right things, he's probably not going to have a good relationship with his child because you're going to be in the middle messing it up. So be careful with a person who you take everything from, because they're going to respond. Men have been taking a high road for decades, being painted as the villain, you know, being used, being abused, you know, being set up. And it's like, okay, just know, y'all think it's going to be karma, but it's probably going to be revenge. And this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Let's talk about the politics. Do you notice how in this political climate, we have this overarching thing in this political climate, like, oh, if the Republicans lose, oh, it's gonna be civil unrest, it's gonna be riots in the streets, you're gonna have people, white folks with guns and tiki torches shooting up everything. But if the left lose, we're gonna have, we're gonna have purple head protesters. Let me tell y'all something, and this goes either way. A lot of y'all, and we play this underlying race riot game, right? Whereas, if the politics don't go our way, it's going to be a race riot. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all think it's going to be civil unrest because of a race riot. But some of y'all have never, ever considered the fact that if there's actual civil unrest in this country because of politics, it ain't just going to be a race riot. It's going to be a purge. And what I mean by that is, a lot of you single mothers, your baby daddy going to be coming for you. A lot of you judges, there's going to be one of these fathers coming for you. A lot of you lawyers who thought it was cool to throw these dudes under the bus, a lot of these dudes are going to be looking for you. Y'all assuming that this is just going to be, if it was to go left, it'll be civil unrest. It'll be civil unrest and people will be protesting in the streets. No, it ain't. Some of this is going to be a purge, and some of it is going to be blamed on the black folks, because we always get blamed for stuff. So y'all never, I don't know why it's never been addressed, but that's part of the issue. Because if it's a civil unrest, that means, all bets are off. And a lot of y'all did a lot of dirty stuff over the years to a lot of different guys. And if you think they just was buying guns and ammo in hopes that one day there was going to be a civil war in the United States and it's going to be civil unrest, you better think again, because it's just cover. Some of this civil unrest is just going to be cover for these guys to take people out. Because just like I said, the single mothers abuse the system, these judges and these lawyers abuse the system. And guess what? Y'all screwed over soldiers, y'all screwed over other law enforcement. Y'all have no idea who got y'all on the hit list. I'm just being honest. Y'all need to take this into consideration. So that's part of the issue. So this is where we're headed, because y'all abused this child support system. Y'all abused it. And even with the rise of social media, and even when you see the court, how can I say these? Even when you see these court appearances on YouTube where they film them, you see how much they let these ladies get away with. You see it. And let me back up and what I just spoke about the violent thing. This is where Single mothers in courts have a huge problem. Huge problem. Single mothers have a stereotype of they not gonna do all of this if they got a violent criminal baby daddy, because they don't know what he gonna do. They're not gonna throw him under the bus like that because they don't know if he gonna come shoot the house up, beat the brakes off her. So for some odd reason, if you got a violent, criminal-minded baby daddy, you don't want no smoke even if you go into court. That's a problem because it's a stereotype, but it has a lot of truth to it. And the second thing, even when it comes to the courts, abusing child support, if a guy's like a criminal or acts like a criminal, or you can hide or a criminal or a businessman, and they say, look, I don't get paid like that because I can finagle the numbers, the court all of a sudden, I can't throw this guy under the bus because he has a S corp and an LLC, or you said he's out here dealing drugs, but we can't prove it. He's just unemployed. And it's like, yo, you better chill out, because now what y'all telling guys is the violent guy, y'all gonna keep him out of the court, and the guy who can be a criminal, he doesn't have the same responsibility. So you got all of these law-abiding, hard-working citizens out here getting thrown under the bus. Fathers, I shouldn't say citizens, fathers. And I'm gonna tell you where this leads, and the reason why I got to say it this way, because I was using an example earlier. I was telling my wife, I said, everybody making jokes about Diddy, right? And Diddy got a lot of kids, and they made the allegation Diddy just beating the brakes off women. And we saw the tape of Cassie. All of a sudden, okay, he beating the brakes off women. But you notice, and they have all these allegations of him beating the brakes off of women. But you notice his baby mamas never kept him from his kids. So is that one of the reasons? Because they knew even if he was rich, he gonna come to your front door and it's gonna be a problem? That says a lot, don't you think? So this playing guys because they're trying to be nice or have integrity, this is not going to end well. It's already not ending well. Y'all just don't see it. That's why I said, the family court system in about 5 to 10 years, it's going to be broke. It's going to be broke because guys ain't having kids like that. So you can't hire all them people. And in the future, you ladies, if they want to have more kids, these ladies gonna have to go the in vitro route and freeze their eggs and get pregnant by themselves, so there won't be no daddy on the hook. That's just the reality of it. So now let's take a step further. Why I said, single mothers abuse the child support system, because it's a whole thing. Of course, they had another school shooting, which was like the 45th school shooting this year, and it's 52 weeks in a year, and school was out for 2.5-3 months. So what they tell you, but that kid's parents are going to jail behind them, but that's like a mother and a father. But the thing about it was, they blamed a lot of school shootings initially on, really single mothers, kids being out of pocket and violent and just letting it off the hook. And here's the thing, and and it sticks to the topic about abusing the child support system. The reason why the schools are the way they are is because the educational system and the family court or the child support system was working hand in hand. See, a lot of y'all don't remember, like when I was a kid, your family could come up to the school. Your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your parents could come up to the school. But what happened was a lot of A lot of single mothers was playing that game with the child support system, and all of a sudden it really skewed to the mother's side of the family could come up to the school to see the kid, or the mother's boyfriend or a new husband could come to the child and come to the school and see the kid. So there was a barrier between fathers and their kids, even with the school using the court system. So that was the beginning of schools. You can come here, you can't. So you got less participation from fathers in schools, or even with their kids' educations, because of all of this child support nonsense. So what happened over time? The kids' behavior got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And now school shootings are a norm, or are a norm. And here's the thing about it. You can't really reverse. I'll say it this way. You can reverse whatever you want to as far as law. But we live in a country where it's not, since if somebody's benefiting from it, they're going to fight tooth and nail to reverse something that we shouldn't even be doing in the first place. So what I'm saying is, you can't really reverse the school policies now, because basically the school's making sure fathers can't get into the school and see their kids. And what I mean by that is, over the years, it became the father got to go to the court, or the mother got to sign off that the father could come. So the father had to get the mother's permissions and the court permission to go just to a school and pick up their own kid. You get what I'm saying? So all of these barriers of security and clearances, it became part of a school's security system. So the lockdowns you see really in essence come from making sure fathers can't see their kids. So now you can't really reverse it, because so many school shootings happen. You need all of these rules and laws that were implicit and explicit, that they made for security reasons. Now you have to keep these things, because so much damage is happening in the schools. You're trying to you want to lock the fathers out and lock the kids in, and now you locking the kids in because you don't know how bad the kid's gonna be, right? And now they locked in with their own with their own crazy classmates. And then we play this, but the father's not in the home game. It's like, oh, but y'all forget 30, 40, 50 years, y'all were saying fathers aren't important. So, it's too late now. The single mothers abuse the child support system, and now it's all on you. And the reason why I have to talk about the school route is not just that, is because the kids got dumber. The kids got dumber. If you can look on, depending on what state you live in, or you can just look online. There are states who've changed their whole grading system now to cater to these dumb kids. A A is 100 to a 64. You get what I'm saying? An A is a 100 to an 84. A B is an 83 to a 64. No, but why are we doing this? One, because these kids aren't as smart as they used to be, because all of a sudden, we were saying mothers were the best teachers, and mothers teach their kids, and the kids learn the most. And, you made the school system interactive with predominantly women. And it seems like what happened was everybody got dumber. Who'd have thunk it? And not even and the teachers that are female are quitting. The kids are more disrespectful. The school went from protecting the kids from the bad father. Now they're protecting the bad kids from the good teachers. And what I mean by that is, how many times you see these kids fighting the teacher, fighting the principal? Nothing happens. They're still at school. The teacher can't fight them back because the teacher gonna get fired, but the kid can fight every teacher in the book and probably and stay in school, depending on the type of kid it is. And unfortunately, what I gotta say is, who gets away with the most shenanigans like that is predominantly girls, because boys get kicked out of school and go to jail for that type of stuff. So you keep reinforcing it and enabling it. They abuse the single mothers, abuse the family court system, and now that spills out into society because the school is the same way. Now the young girls could just be abusive as they all get out in the schools, and it's not really a big problem. And like I said, now the kids are dumber. And now some of these schools are saying the same thing. We need more male teachers. You ran off the men 20, 30, 40 years ago. So no, sorry, now you don't have more male teachers. And it ain't paying. So they like, forget all that. I ain't even participating in this BS. 1 second. So now you have a whole nother problem. Not to mention, like I said, the teachers in the schools are predominantly female. So they're tired of the bad kids and the bad mothering. They can't explain it. They can't even explain it. They're like, it's hard to admit, but the schools, at the end of the day, the schools at some point gonna have to admit these kids are bad because these mothers can't handle them, or these mothers are taught them all bad things, or these kids running over their mothers. So we gonna have a bad issue because there's too many mothers and not enough fathers, and we thought mothers made it all work, and it don't. So now the schools have an issue. Now I'm gonna take it a step further. Because single mothers abuse the child support system, and this is what happens. And since I'm black, we're gonna talk about it this way. Guess what else got ruined? Well, it's partially ruined by single mothers and abusing the child support system. The black church. Y'all don't want to talk about it, but we got to talk about it. See, the black church has this stereotype for years. It was catering to women, it's catering to single mothers, predominantly. Telling them what they want to hear, not telling them the truth. Enabling their BS because they gonna give you some tithes and offerings. And what happened? You had less and less men in the church. Don't talk to me about God and truth, and right and wrong, and you sitting here enabling, these mothers abusing the child support system. Y'all watching the kids at the church, knowing that you ain't gonna let the father be with the kids. The church play that. The church is in on that. So now you got less and less men in church, right? And here's the kicker. Because, the stereotype was back in the day, women are heavy in church and they believe in God, and they're loving, God-loving creatures, and they're the as God, as angels, as women, then as men type of scenario, right? The church got to admit it's got a problem because what? How come, for one, there's so many godless people now? No, the church can't even explain it. The church can't even explain how come people don't even have a relationship with God like they used to. Because what? They in church enabled all kinds of BS in the church, especially this, to the point where it turned off all the God-loving people. Oh, and the second thing, since I gotta go there. if y'all believe this so much, how come most of these kids don't even pray today? If the mothers are so good and everybody got this relationship with God, these kids don't pray. These kids are like godless, and because the mama's not even taking them to church no more. Kids ain't going to church no more. Kids' grandmothers ain't taking them to church no more. So most of your parishioners are older people. Like, there was older people back in the day, but you're not gonna have in 10, 20 years, they're not gonna be mega churches. They're not. You enabled your way out of the God business, just for the record. Because you let these ladies abuse their child support system. When these men were going to these churches with their wives to get counseling, you took the wife's side, you threw the dude under the bus. When a guy tries to come to church and talk to the pastor, I'm trying to see my kid. Oh, we're going to pray for you, but you're going to give us some money. Oh, okay. I get it. And then the church players will play that game. We need mentors in the church. It's like, no, you don't need mentors in the church. You enabled the fathers not being in their children's lives, and now you want the men in your church to be mentors to all these kids, and at the expense of them being fathers to their own kids. No. So you started getting less and less participation. That's what I mean by and it goes back to single mothers abusing the court system. Y'all allowed all this stuff, and now everybody got to say this is not a good look. It's too late, though. It's too late. There ain't nowhere around this at this particular point. This situation with Tyrese, like he just going, he just going to jail as a publicity stunt to show y'all like how bad this really gets. And once again, and that's what I mean by single mothers abuse the court system. Like let me tell you how bad the court system is, as far as holding single mothers to the law. How many movies have there been in the last 35 years of a mother losing custody, getting their kid could go into adoption, or just go to another family member? How many movies and television shows have you seen over the years where mom's on drugs, mom's a stripper, mom's a criminal? You get what I'm saying? Mom just is an airhead who just messes up stuff. But somehow when it comes to the court, they get the kid. Doesn't matter. You just get the kid. Too many. And the court keeps going, oh, they didn't lynch the kid. They didn't set the kid on fire. They didn't throw the kid in the oven. They didn't drown the kid in the washing machine. So it's all good. Mm-hmm. So at this point, y'all done messed up. Because people are going to stop operating within the confines of the law. Because it's obvious that, an abusive mother, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 17th chance. Mother could give her kid, a mother could give away her kid to a different family in adoption and not let the father know, and the father might not even get the kid back because the father didn't sign off on it. I know people who, it ain't gonna get in that. That's all good. His father's fighting for his kid. And even, and this is how bad it is. Oh, they made laws for women to go to different states in America, knowing that they couldn't get a kid up for adoption in their state. So if you take the kid to this state and you give it up, the father has no legal recourse because you took it to the state that we told you to take it to. So they abused it. And the court just sitting there like, oh, it's all good. And this is why I told y'all, a lot of y'all lawyers and a lot of y'all judges, y'all gonna have to, y'all better pray there's no such thing as a civil unrest. Because I don't know how many people got y'all addresses where y'all drink coffee at. Like y'all actually, y'all never took into consideration all the people y'all threw under the bus and for how many years and how pissed those people are. There's going to be somebody looking for you. You're not going to see them coming, and they might be multiple people. But even with that being said, like what I'm talking about on this part, when you have those stories where mama get a kid away, no legal recourse. Mama abused a kid, no legal recourse. She doesn't lose custody of the kid. You get what I'm saying? Mom endangered the kid life, no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told, no big deal. Mom doesn't make sure the kid gets an education, no big deal. Mom doesn't feed the kid properly, the kid's malnourished, no big deal. The kids get caught in crime, but they're participating in the crime. No, because mama's benefiting. No big deal. You keep the kid. A long time ago, I told y'all this story. Got a good friend of mine. She passed the bar. She became a lawyer. So she was, working on a bunch of different practices, just making her money, getting her name up. And so she was working in family court too. She was working in criminal court. She was working in family court. She was just working in court, right? She was working. And when it came to the cases she had with like either family court or a kid who got in trouble, and family court might wind up they might have to go to family court, she would call me. And there was this particular case, and this kid like broke into like a gun store or something, trying to steal some guns, right? And he got caught, he got arrested, blah, blah, blah. And the mom and her family, they knew, that at this point they had failed. But the whole group of them was like, we can't tell his daddy, because if we tell his daddy gonna take him. Which makes sense, right? Because the boy gonna wind up in prison if he don't. So my friend called me. She was like, yo, so what do you think is gonna happen? I think I could get the case I think I get him like probation or something if they, and just send him to his dad. I think the judge is kind of lenient to that. He like, it's gotten that bad. And I told her, I said, listen, if that dad don't know, they're not gonna let him know, and they're gonna make sure that kid don't tell him. And then she's like, nah, it can't be that bad. So what happened was, they're at court, and they're in the hallway. The boy, the son, and his mom and his like aunt and grandmother, they're in the hallway prepping him to make sure he tell the judge that he don't know where his father at and what he doing. But what they didn't know was my homegirl was walking up, listening to. So she the closer she get, the more she hear the conversation. And when she heard that, she called me that night. She said, "Listen, these fools want to tell the judge that they don't know where the dad at." And she said, "Man, this boy might go to jail because of this. Because if they don't know where the dad at, they might just lock him up." And I'm sitting there like, and that was like her first introduction to how far people they would go to abuse the system, because mom just wanted the child support money. You gotta get this understood. That boy could have went on probation, juvie, or even jail. They'd still collected their child support. They didn't care nothing about that boy. But this happens so frequently, and the courts know it. It becomes a point where everybody, is so incompetent. Oh, let me back up. Because when I was talking about the education part, right, and them changing the grades of school and all that, let me say this also. I should have put a caveat on that. Let me go back to this. If you notice that they're changing the grades in the schools now, the grading system in certain states to make sure, dumb kids feel smarter. Here's another thing you forget. And this is for single mothers that are black mothers. They're going to blame these grading system on single black mothers. Mind you, if California changed their grading system, California predominant majority population is white people. They change it in Florida. Florida's predominantly white people. Every state in America is predominantly white. Every state. So when they got to change the court systems, the school system to grade better, I'm gonna just say it like this: there's a lot of dumb people and a lot of dumb single mothers, or a lot of kids that are dumb that are raised by single mothers now. And it throws a monkey wrench in mothers being good teachers and worrying about kids' education. All that's going out the window now. But black single mothers, they're gonna make you the face of it. Just for the record. Somehow in California it's gonna be, L.A. the 5% of black people that live in L.A. and all the black people that live in the Bay Area are at fault for everybody from in Sacramento, San Jose, Fresno, like it's all of that. So just know, but you abuse the court system. You abuse the court system. You abuse the family court system, and a lot of times, we got to get back to the reality of this. And part of this reality is this: single mothers abuse the family court system so bad that now even your family not helping you. See, back in the day, you would have your grandmother, your sister, your cousins, everybody could chip in and help raise the kid. The family court system got so bad, it enabled and emboldened so many of you single mothers. Y'all done fell out with y'all own family and friends when it comes to y'all and these kids. So now y'all can say, the father's not around to help. Y'all on your own with your own family too, for the most part, because they don't want to deal with it either. Because can't nobody tell you nothing. Because see, since the court doesn't tell you nothing, the court never really tells you you're wrong. You going to your family and acting like you're not wrong. See, now we're at a space in society where people don't want to hear the arrogance of, let's just say, the modern woman. The arrogance of the modern woman, part of that comes from the United States family court system. The United States family court system. Because if I have a baby, if I could be dead wrong in just a regular woman, now I could be dead wrong in a mother, and it doesn't matter. The law is in my favor. It's like, okay, you better remember that. You better remember that, because you better take it into consideration that the law is in your favor, but people in the real world tired of you now. That's what he said, compassionate. Mothers need a support system. No, you ruin that. They ain't getting nothing. Nothing. They've emboldened them. That's why you see a lot of times when you see all these ladies getting into it, all of these, a man needs to do this, a man needs to do that. No. That's over with now. Men don't need to do nothing because men done too much. Men have done too much now. So you're on your own. So now, since y'all abuse the court system, and a lot of you ladies know, like, man, like, women can't even tell women, like, if you do this, you're going to lose their custody of a child. A lawyer can't tell women, mothers, if you do this, you'll lose custody of a child. Pretty much all mothers got to do is the bare minimum. Is the child breathing? Yes. Well, you're good enough. And this is what I meant by abusing the family court system. How many of these kids, have let's just say a D grade point average. How many of these kids have failed a grade or two in school? How many of these kids don't show up to school on a regular basis? Does that mean that mom loses custody? Nope. How many of these kids, then got arrested on minor charges? Does mom lose custody? Nope. How many of these kids got arrested on felonies? Does mom lose charges? Lose custody? Nope. How many of these kids have destroyed other people's property? Have they lost custody? Nope. So at this point, they know I ain't gotta do nothing. How many women have been caught in court lying, flat out lying? What is the judge gonna do? I will hold you in contempt. Oh, how many mothers got caught scamming the system and getting caught in court? And does that do she lose custody? No. There is no criminal activity that a mother can get caught red-handed doing in court that will make sure she loses custody. Guess what? You can be a veteran. You could be serving this country, and your baby mama could be a stripper or OnlyFans model, and guess who they'll say is the better fit? Do you want an Army Ranger, or do you want a stripper at King of Diamonds? Who's the best fit to raise this kid? Oh, the stripper at King of Diamonds. Sir, get out into the field and go shoot something up. And I hope you make it back because you got to pay this child support. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. You got women who sold their kids, who trafficked their own kids and got caught. And instead of getting the kids to the father, they got kids to the family. It was the young lady. She got offed by like her crazy boyfriend, and the father came to get his kids, and he had to fight. He had to fight the grandmother. And let me tell you, I can speak. This is how bad it is. A true story. I got custody of my son because him and his mom started fighting and he ran away. And somehow when it was time to go to court, a mom basically, finessed my son, kidnapped him. They plotted. Me and Boosie got something in common. The child decided I'm gonna get paid with mama on some child support stuff, and then ran back to mama, and mama finessed the situation. So we in court, and she like, yeah, he ran away. Yeah, we was getting in fights, and yeah, but his dad is a man, and he might punch him in the chest. Look at that. He might. So guess what? Yeah, we sent them there. Yeah, does she have to pay child support for the time he was with me? Nope. And this ain't the first time that happened with me and my son. That's the second time that happened. The second time. And you know how the courts is. Well, she's a woman, you're a man. Let's just sit here and just allow the stupidity to keep going. Is it wrong? It doesn't matter. She's a woman. So what happens in life? What do the kids learn? Oh, I could do whatever I want. Can't nobody tell me what to do. And then they get screwed over. Let's go to, matter of fact, let's take this to another thing. Single mothers abuse the child support system when you talk about work. There was a time where men, the child support system couldn't count overtime for your income. because what a lot of dudes was doing was they would go to they went to the family court system, and they got thrown under the bus by the family court system, and they took so much money from them, they didn't allow them to survive. So what those guys started doing was they started working overtime to make up the difference to keep their life. So now, what do these women do? They go back to court and they go, well, he make $10,000 more than he did last year because he had to work, 50, 60 hours a week to maintain his bills. But I want that too. And now the court's like, well, you did make all that money, sir. And you're like, yo, y'all already taken X amount of dollars. I still had to pay my bills. Well, that's not our fault, sir. It's not our problem. So you should get another job and do that so she can go get another increase. And it's like, okay, y'all keep playing. And then dudes started doing what? Quitting their jobs and started working under the table. And then them chicks started getting mad. He can't make more money than that. The dude started like, F it. I ain't working these jobs no more. That's what happened. And since the mothers abused the system, the courts didn't care because they was like, we getting a bigger kickback. So now the father's like, all right, F y'all. And let me take a step further. And then let me take this step further. Just one more step further. Y'all think a lot of you women who feminists, y'all really think guys really just it's just about money, but it's not. I would say guys in the last 35, 40 years all have every man who's been in the family court system, by the time it comes to an end, we all have the same question. Where the fuck did all that money go? Because this kid ain't got shit. Because these kids never have nothing. Y'all want to, the kid needs a 592, 529, I forget how to say it. The kid needs a college fund. The kid needs a fund to have a car. The kids need a fund to start their own business. These kids don't have none of that shit. All that money be gone. And y'all know where, and everybody know where it's going. Mom's hair, mom's nails, mom vacation, mom at the spa, mom at brunch. Why y'all, last child support payment hit, mom go and get a BBL in hopes that she can find another man because she been living off of this other guy. And for a lot of y'all, a lot of guys know what I'm about to know this all too well. A lot of guys are sitting out here like, wait a minute. How come all you strong, independent women go broke after the last child support payment, after child support is over? How come y'all go broke so fast? How? Because y'all abuse the child support system. A lot of y'all it's like, yo, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? And a lot of y'all, and a lot of men know what I'm about, know this also to be true. A lot of y'all think these guys are paying, let's just say $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $12,000 a year in child support. They're not. Because any man who's paying child support, 9 times out of 10, he's also paying medical insurance. So y'all, if he got to pay medical insurance, that means good medical insurance might run you at this particular juncture damn near $8,000 a year. So if you paying $800 in cash, you paying, if you paying $800, so $800 in cash would be, roughly $9,600. I mean, yeah. If you're paying $800 in child support a month, you basically paying $9,600 in cash, right? But you paying another $8,000 in medical bills. So what are you really paying? You get what I'm saying? $17,000 a year. See, people forget that. They just talk about the child support part. You know, they just talk about the child, and you might be paying, and you know, a lot of medical insurance, you got to get a different dental and vision. Sometimes vision is in the medical, but sometimes you got to get a dental and a vision. So don't get it twisted. You got with these kids, what you sending these mothers cash, and you also got with the medical part. And guess what? The court, you know, these mothers be getting over on it all the time. They'll take your medical insurance and take these kids to all these crazy therapists on with your money, with your medical insurance that your money pay for, and say, oh, the kid's scared of their daddy. The daddy's driving them. The kid got anxiety. They got oppositional defiant disorder. They got ADHD and they can't pay attention. And you sitting there like, ain't this about a this is ridiculous. But guess what? She can get away with it. You know, the courts are gung ho when it comes to that. Like, oh, it's all right. She's a mother. She's a woman. Oh, it's okay. So now all of this stuff that you see in society happening, what's up, Raj? You know, it's really the root cause of it is, you know, single mothers abusing the child support system and the child support system abusing the child support system. That's what it is. So looking at this Tyree situation, I heard some young ladies talking. These men shouldn't be talking about their family business all on social media. Why not? Why not? Everybody knows, you know, everybody knows these guys getting screwed in court. Why they kids don't? Y'all act like these kids don't know that they dad is getting screwed over. Y'all act like these kids don't know this. Y'all act like these kids don't know every time daddy come around, mama lose her mind and try to call the police to run daddy off. Y'all act like these kids don't know that. Right. I know. That's why I made this. That's exactly why I made this video. He owes me $73,000 for what? For what? What does he owe you $73,000 for? Cause I just want some money. I just want some money. I remember years ago, I was on, you know, his YouTube channel, and I had to explain to a woman Chris Brown situation. When Chris Brown had the baby with the lady in Texas, here in Texas, and the chick tried to move to California to file for child support. And the girl was like, what's the big deal? And I was like, Texas has a cap on child support. So he would be paying like $1,500 a month for that baby. But if she was to move to California, there's really not a cap. So guess what? He would be paying, you know, XYZ for the baby. He's like, what's the big deal? I said, what's the big deal? So in essence, you know, that's just like a guy paying $500,000 for a kid over 18 years versus a guy paying $5 million because she wanted to move. You know, because I want my baby to have the same lifestyle. Stop it. And I'm about to say something, you know, that needs to be said. This lifestyle argument, even the courts can't keep up with this lifestyle argument now. They can't. Because even if y'all was married, y'all can't cook, y'all don't clean. Even if you're in the middle class, a lot of these ladies are not cooking and cleaning like that. A lot of these ladies ain't doing all this stuff like that. You know, my lifestyle. A lot of these ladies spend more money on themselves than they do their family. You know, There will be no, I can tell you right now, there will be no family court reform. I said this earlier, compassionate, and watch this, answer this question. How many single mothers are going to vote for family court reform? And I'm like, Cat Williams, don't worry, I'll wait. They abuse the whole system to the point that men are not going to participate. And thanks for that answer. Zero. And that should tell you something. You know, that becomes a problem. So now, since they've abused the system so much, it's really like it's broken past the point of fixing. And what I mean by that is people just don't want to participate in it. It's just like when I brought up the cop reference earlier. What's about to happen to the family court system already happened to the criminal court. And what I mean is, you remember the criminal court just swore to God there was going to be so many criminals that they could build prisons everywhere and they were going to be packed. And what wound up happening was people wasn't committing crime like that. So a bunch of these prisons went under. We don't have enough inmates because people wasn't committing these crimes that they thought, and they wasn't going to arrest white people. So all the black people they thought they was going to lock up, it just didn't work because we wasn't participating in the criminal enterprise. It's the same exact thing. Oh, fake David Ruffin. What's up, George? So now that's what's going to happen with the family court system. Guys are not going to petition to reform it. They're just not going to participate in it. So all of this stuff that people going to need to do, you're going to have less judges. You're going to have less lawyers. They're going to have to go into another profession, another practice. Criminal court ain't going to be like that. It's over. It's going to be over. So now we at that point because like what this woman did to Tyrese is so normal and it's so trifling and it's still so legal. Oh, she can file for divorce 4 years ago and come back 4 years later and ask for more child support and ask for California child support when she live in Atlanta. And the lawyers could go, hey, you don't have to pay us any lawyer fees. We're just going to get Tyrese to pay for it. And we're going to overcharge him. And everybody's going to make it home with a bag of money. And this is why I said earlier, y'all better pray to God there's never a civil unrest in this country. Because y'all think it's going to be a race war. It's going to be a lot of pissed off ex-husbands and baby daddies that's going to be offing a whole lot of people. Baby mama lawyer. Some of you guys who was the husbands, there was the stepdaddies that was trying to keep the kid away from their actual daddy. Y'all gonna catch it too. Yeah, so some of y'all, brothers and uncles that got in the middle of the way and y'all thought y'all was gonna be cool. Y'all gonna catch it too. Some of you, I told you, like you judges, like, oh, I'm a judge, dog. Y'all do. What was that? I remember watching a Fight Club when I was a teenager, and there was a scene where Brad Pitt was trying to tell these guys, listen, this politician, he was like, yo, listen, we're your waiters, we're your valet, we're the guy making your coffee. We're your security guard. You think you got away from us, but you didn't. Basically, so y'all really screwed yourselves. And I, like I said earlier, I was talking to my wife about it. I said, man, it's unfortunate, but guys are really gonna start getting. Guys are guys are at the point we're gonna throw out all of this chivalry. It's over with. Like, no, because the evil intentions that have been followed through for so long with these single mothers in these courts has been so ongoing, and there's been no action or recourse to actually push back against it. Guys like, man, I ain't finna operate in the law. Forget it. And I was telling them, it's like double jeopardy. A lot of you ladies think y'all like these guys are just gonna move on. Most of us do. But let me explain something to you. If a dude is, let me say it this way. If Tyrese got out of jail after he paid $73,000, after all of this, and decided to put, $1 million and something in the fund to make sure his child support was paid, and he went over to her house and stumped a mud hole in her own in front of the news and national television, most men would be like, so what? And people are, he's gonna lose his career. Guys, and y'all have pushed a lot of men to the point that they don't care. You're gonna get a domestic violence charge. They don't care. You've already ruined their life. You've already ruined their relationship with their kids. You've already ruined their natural given right to be a parent. You actually think that they like, oh, I can't go to work Monday. There's so many guys who are like, man, I go to jail for 10 years. I go to jail for life because she deserved what I'm about to do. The same heartlessness that the courts, that these single mothers in the courts participate in, that can go back to you. Y'all need to, I swear to God, y'all don't think about this stuff enough. Like y'all just think, oh, after 18, 20 something years, I just gonna walk off into the sunset after being an asshole to this guy for 10, 15, 20 years and I'm going to heaven. No, it's not like that. It's not. It's sad that I even got to say it, but it's true. Y'all abuse this to the point where guys are like, man, I'm looking at every other angle outside of the court. Every other angle outside of the court. And people will go, oh, that's messed up. No, it's not really. Not really. Right. No, I don't think the reason I don't think they won is, and I brought this up earlier, when you got like white guys having standoffs with the FBI, going into what is it, state capitals, and holding politicians at gunpoint, shooting other politicians, the Capitol riot or whatever you want to call it, the insurrection. When you have that stuff happening with just politics, people don't think about it, but that's going to spill over to other stuff because people get tired of it. Like, the guys setting themselves on fire in front of the courthouses and stuff like that. Like, I think violence is men's last recourse when it comes to the family court system. But I think you ain't give these men you ain't give a lot of men their only real option at this point is either wait it out or get violent. And you're getting to that point where guys are like, fuck it. And I said that earlier, like, y'all think these people just buying guns for a possible insurrection or civil unrest or race war? No. These fools got plans. You get what I'm saying? These fools got plans. And I don't see how people don't get that. That's the sad part about this, is like people just skip over, like people look at, you can't say men are violent. Men are a danger to society, and pissed off men could do all these things. And you're not taking into consideration why do you keep pissing off certain men? Like, you say these men are dangerous, but you keep poking them, you keep fucking with them, and you think, oh well, when the family court thing is like, it's not a big deal. Like, hey man, this is not good. This is not good whatsoever, just in my opinion. But and that goes to, like I said, the abuse of the system, because you can't tell a person like, you know, like in Tyree's case, you with the guy, you with him for years, y'all have a kid together. You know, in COVID, you up and basically divorced the dude because he's at home, and you was living a high life with him not being there because he's working, and now that he's at home with you, I can't be with you. I got to get a divorce, but I'm not about money. But now I want $50,000 a month, and you know, and now it's to the point I get $10,000 a month in child support. Like it's at a point where you're seeing guys like, hey man, I can't. And I said this earlier, when the schools are tired of these kids because they got bad parents, and that's predominantly mothers, the church is really falling apart because they enable bad mothers. You know, the court is going to be falling apart because they enable bad mothers. And in the beginning, I said this whole thing about feminism, this idea that, you know, feminists and feminism could rule the world and make it a better place, in all honesty, has failed, because I don't women don't run America, right? As far as politically, you know, corporations and all that other stuff, I get all that. But the America we live in is the America we live in right now is the product of women. The future that you people are so like, this country's gonna go downhill, was women raising all of these kids. That's what you're seeing. That's why you're seeing all of these, you know, people don't like quote unquote woke now, but that's why you're seeing all these pontificating ass people just thinking they're gonna talk and feel their way through things. I feel like I'm at the top of my game and I'm doing my best I can, and I have 7 degrees, and I walk and I feel confident, and I step into the future, and I have faith, and I manifest, it's like, man, you take out the damn garbage and shut your ass up. I'm going to manifest the garbage being taken out, and I'm going to manifest the tub being clean, and I'm going to manifest dinner on the table. I'm going to manifest paying the bills. No, you just waiting on somebody to do it for you because you're lazy. This is the society that we have now. And so the experiment of, you know, women in positions of power hasn't been fulfilled, but women controlling how the society goes by them and teaching the kids how life should be, oh, that's already happened. That's already happened, and it ain't been good. And the court been cool with it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay. Not to mention, all these folks ain't prepared for life. So y'all, I haven't even addressed this thing, but why do you think there are so many young adults either homeless or on the verge of homelessness? Do you think it's because you know, they're fatherless, or do you think it's because their mothers they were predominantly raised by single moms and they didn't teach them no damn life skills, and now they grown and they threw their ass out in the street, and now they don't know how to take care of themselves? And then they throw that back on schools. The schools don't teach you how to do your taxes. The schools don't teach you how to shop. The school don't teach you how to, you know, work. And it's like, yo, wait a minute, time out. You know why y'all took all of that stuff out? You forgot? Did you forget why they took all of that stuff out? See, there's 2 reasons. One, high school stopped doing all of that stuff because what? Because you didn't want black people that skilled. So your racism came into play on that one. What was the second reason? mothers are the mother. They are learning all this stuff at home. They don't need to learn taxes at school. They can learn that at home. They don't need to learn cleanliness at school. They can learn it at home. Like, home ec. They don't need to learn all the. So school became, math, science, blah, 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 all the stuff to get into college, because you were supposed to be learning all the life skills at home. And now you don't have no life skills because they don't teach it at home. So it's like, who did what? Who did what? So, for me, this abuse of the system is just abuse of the system. And y'all gonna find out the hard way. Y'all gonna find out the hard way. So enjoy it while it lasts, but in all honesty, it is what it is. Like, you know what? Let me, I can open the panel up a little bit. I'm actually sitting here watching the game while I'm doing this, but if anybody got something to say, I could take a few folks if y'all want to come up, if y'all want to come up, So, because for me, oh my goodness, if y'all don't know right now, let's see. San Francisco is up 22-7, about to be 23-7, or unless they go for 2 in the third quarter with 7 minutes to go. But am I tripping? Because in my opinion, the mothers abuse the court system. Because at the end of the day, they can't say that the fathers haven't been doing their job. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. And this is what this is my response to that. Here's my response to that. What does vetting you have to do with you being a bad parent on your own? See, this ain't just about. See, a lot of times, ladies will say guys are deadbeat dads, and we'll say you need to vet better. But you ladies have far more access to these children than men do, and y'all are bad for a child's whole childhood to adulthood. That ain't got nothing to do with vetting. That's something to do with your character, because that baby ain't your man. You a bad parent to that kid because you a bad person. When are we gonna start holding women accountable for being good human beings? When we gonna do that? Hold up. What the heck is this? Can that be part of the equation? Because that's part of what I'm talking about, abusing the court system. When is a mother responsible for being actually a good mother? Because you paid to be a bad mother. The schools help you out if you're a bad mother. The church help you out if you're a bad mother. How many good mothers do you see in society right now? I shouldn't say how many. Out of 100% of mothers, what's the percentage of good mothers now? Because society ain't saying it's a majority. And tell me if I'm lying. Can we hold mothers accountable? Can we? Maybe just try to. I'm trying to say it. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say at this particular point. At what point are we gonna actually talk? Since we're gonna talk about all these bad fathers, because let me rewind this and say it this way. Fathers went from the stereotype of being bad, deadbeat, abusive fathers to now the reason why these kids is messed up because the father's not there. What does that skip over? So once again, there is no acknowledgement that if you're a woman, you actually have to have some type of integrity and dignity. Because everybody having sex, that's fine. But if you have a kid with somebody, that doesn't mean because you're a woman, you get to be an asshole the rest of your life. That's not what that means. Having a kid does not mean you get to be a scumbag all of your life. And this is what I mean by single mothers abuse the court system. And Jada, I want you to hear what I'm about to say. Women don't have a system of honor where they say women are wrong for certain things. You can be a horrible woman and women don't bother with it. Y'all whole get the bag culture, that's being a horrible human being. You know that whole, I could be the side chick, that's being a horrible human being. Let's set men up, that's being a horrible human being. There is not one negative thing that women do that women go, we better than that. We shouldn't be doing that. Using men for money, that's on the table. Using men for food, that's on the table. Using men in general, that's on the table. Using men, kids as pawns, that's on the table. There is not a negative thing that women go, you know what? We're above that. We women, we shouldn't be doing that trifling stuff. Getting married to a guy, knowing you don't like him, but you're trying to get him on the back end, that's on the table. That's all celebrated. Being a woman who wants to be with a woman, but then wants to get with a man to get a baby to go back to women, and then put the guy on child support because she never wanted she wanted a child, she didn't want a man. That's on the table. See, the modern woman's moral compass, they don't really have morals. As a whole group, y'all don't have morals. Y'all don't care. Get with a drug dealer, as long as he making money. So there comes a point where it's like, hey man, there isn't a what's up, Chaos? I got you.
It's good. L.A.R. It's been a long time since. Oh, can we good? Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
My mic's working now. It's been a long time since I came on one of your panels, man. It's funny when I saw you talk about briefly, and I asked in the chat room, "Is this true?" And it looked like it seemed yes, because I look at my phone and look at the thumbnail. God damn, he already admit that he's going to war with the court system. I think what Tyrese is going to do, he is actually going to be the I don't know if I want to say cadaver. He is going to be the actual tool that's actually going to be the one that's going to potentially give enough ammunition for most men in the West. to now officially go at this child support system. He's going to be the greatest sacrifice. I have a feeling this was what's going to happen now. I think he's going to be the one.
I was listening to BGS a few days back,
mm-hmm.
and they were talking, and he said, it's 56% of men don't have kids now. You remember it was 52 to 54. Now it's 56.
So it's going every year or two. It's jumping every 2%.
So guys ain't finna fight the child support system. They just not finna participate.
Okay. But think about this. Okay, a good more portion of the American men are gonna dip out of it, right? So now we think about either half of men don't have kids, right? And let's say just black men alone. Can't speak for other races of men. It's gonna take a more great percentage unless they import so many people that they're not even talking about L.A.R movement, that they are finding some replacement of the lack of babies that these chicks could rack up. Personally, that means that there are a lot of people that they import that we're not aware of, because if black men already fit at half, and let's say other men are close to or the same percentage, you're not you're not replacing no numbers at all. That's like one out of 5. That's like half.
But here's the thing. Also, if you're trying to replace using immigrants to replace Americans,
mm-hmm.
that also goes into what? You didn't raise the Americans right to be able to keep America going.
Okay.
So whose fault is that? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. But let's think about L.A.R. You think America cares at this point? They know they're not raising regular people. They're just sitting there. It's like a revolving door. It said, you come in, you're going to have kids or might not have kids, and the cycle continues. So it's all good in business. That's how they look at it.
Well, here's the thing. America definitely cares. It's just like America makes these stupid plans and they think it's going to work one way and it works a different way.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking like let me be honest with when I say what I'm about to say. Let me be 100% honest. When we talk about the leadership in America, everybody's assumed that America is full of smart people. America has been full of dumb people in leadership for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
Being dumb and in a position of power in America is normal. Having a coalition of dumb people in a position of power is normal in America.
Mm-hmm.
So dumb people make dumb decisions.
Yeah.
That, and they made a bad assumption.
Mm-hmm. My parents raised me right. I don't take birth control because I am not sexually active. I should be branded to every man who have sex to use protection and always vet women. Okay. Is that a woman? I feel like Jada woman.
Yeah. It just, I already asked the question. How, even if you vet women, what is the percentage of women who are good mothers in 2024?
What was the percent of any good mother in the last 20 years?
What is the percentage? So even if you vet them properly, tell people the percentage of good mothers in 2024.
0.
I ain't even gonna say 0. I think that's too, because that's just being. But I wouldn't say the majority of mothers nowadays are good mothers at all.
I mean, then Roger said that, and we talking about black women, that it's not good people.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a general thing at this point, because like I said, they're gonna make black single mothers the face of horrible mothers. But truth is, all mothers in all demographics are failing.
Why don't men take custody of the children? I think L.A.R Moon got custody of his son, and your son about to be out of here in next year.
No. I had custody of him. His mama took him. I wound up like Lil Boosie, and the court was just like, okay. And like I said, that was the second. She did that shit twice. I got custody of my son twice, and she didn't like the fact that he was doing better, and got him when I wasn't around. And then the court was like, okay, well, that's messed up, but So I already know.
Hmm. Well, I look at it as this L.A.R movement that a lot of black men are jealous. A lot of black men that are doing what they're supposed to do, and let's say they get knocked by the respectful black men, right? That's doing what they're supposed to be doing. They always look forward to lean back on the ones that knows you're gonna have to play ball with the system, because not you're not gonna be able to have a livelihood. That's why someone that do get knocked up by Pookie, right? And I don't like to use this word, but we're gonna go there. Someone that's not doing what they're supposed to do, they always got fallback plans. You get me? And one thing black men are starting to do, they pull away the fallback plan completely from a good portion of American women, including black women. And a lot of them are really strategizing how they're gonna move in this environment now.
No, let me. I'm about to say something so effed up. You know, they got Glenn Close playing the bad black mother now.
What?
Deliverance. like, like people forget, man. Like, I would say in the last 30 years, ever since losing Isaiah,
Mm-hmm.
you know, ever since losing Isaiah, they've been showing depictions of bad black mothers, and here's what I'm, and this is why I'm using it as a depiction. When, as far as bad fathers go, right?
Yeah.
It went from Joe Jackson being the worst father on earth,
Yeah.
that people thought of on television. He was the worst father on earth, Joe Jackson,
Mhm.
to I forgot the name, the brother's real name, the brother that played Will Smith's daddy, that was a trucker that didn't care about Will. It went from that to that. But from that period on, you had numerous characters of women who were just horrible moms that everybody overlooked. They're like, and like, it's unfortunate. Like, one of the brothers brought up Precious. Is just like, you know, that's the worst depiction now, I would say. But it's so far removed from people that people don't even, there isn't the single mother, whether it's black or white or Asian or Hispanic, the bad mother is a character in our society. Is when you use art, that's vast. They have a lot of different aspects of bad mothers. Like, I'm gonna tell you, watch this. Chaos, have you ever watched Sons of Anarchy?
No, I haven't watched a lot of series lately. I should be really doing.
Sons of Anarchy was bikers. You know what I'm saying? Jax Teller, Channing Hunnam, or whatever his name was, rather Charlie, or was it Channing? I think it's Charlie. But the lead character in that was, you remember Married with Children, Peg Bundy?
Yeah, I remember.
She was the mother in that series. So she was a bad mother in Married with Children, and she was a bad mother in Sons of Anarchy. But it's like just a character. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I brought that up is because, like, I remember watching the series because me and my coworkers liked it or whatever. And I told one of my friends that was my coworker, I said, look, if that series was true, Jax need to kill his mama. He need to kill her. I forgot the dude that played his stepdad's name. He's a dope actor too. Ron Perlman. I forgot what his name was. Ron Perlman. He need to kill Tig. So these were three of the main characters. He said, I was like, they need to get rid of all of them. And my homeboy was like, you can't kill your mama. You can't do that. That's wrong. 2 years later, he killed Ron Perlman's character. He killed his mama, and Tig didn't kill Tig, but they let Tig off the hook. But the reason was because they did so much damage that he had to kill him. You get what I'm saying? So, but the depiction of even in media of a bad mother is vast. You have the bad mothers who who let somebody else take care of their kid, and they were the sister or the auntie, and the kid didn't know. You had the bad mothers who gave their kids away and somehow come back in the story and redeemed. You get what I'm saying? You had the bad mother that was dating the drug dealers and kept the kids, and the kids got abused. You got the kids that they were using and getting abused sexually, and like you have the mothers who are always mentally abusing the kids. It's like, yo, like I got you right. Like you have the character of the mothers who, how can I say this? He said who would delete the kids, but forget all that. You have the characters of mothers who would always lose the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not too long ago, what is it, a year or something ago? You remember when Terrence Crawford beat Errol Spence? You remember the underlying story was how his mother treated him as a child?
I'm trying to
his father said he would be a champion one day, and his mother said he ain't never gonna be shit. So she was paying other kids in the neighborhood to beat him up. So the dysfunctional mother in our society has a bunch of different characters. And they all true to form. Like a bad dad is either he's abusive or he ain't there. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy. Just in my opinion, it's crazy. I didn't realize I was on here for damn near 2 hours.
Well, you think people come up and voice their opinion and their reactions.
Oh, it's all good with me.
Because this is some new information. Charles men choose who they shoot there. Okay. Yeah, we have one lady. I don't mind y'all. One lady defends the sisters, and it's expected. But you can't defend like all this. I'm sorry. If one black man did bad, you hear some black men will chastise him, and all you ladies will root for it. So stop it.
Like even on this thing it sounds like a trauma response. No, like there's a lot of good mothers and fathers. By the way society looks right now, it doesn't look like there's been a lot of good mothering in society.
Nope, not even close, bro.
See that, like just because y'all, let me say this, and it's going. I can tell you right now, if fathers were the lead parent in society, you wouldn't have all these kids walking around with Crocs and pajamas and hoodies and jogging pants all damn day, every day. You wouldn't have these kids this disheveled every day. You wouldn't have all these kids who are young adults who aren't prepared for life. I can guarantee you that. As a matter of fact, even speaking on like bad parenting, right?
Yeah.
I just thought about that. You remember the show Everybody Hates Chris?
Yeah,
the character that played his mother was a horrible mother.
Okay.
Hold that thought. Hold up. You there?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Is this Creative Solutions?
I'm gonna drop you down, Chaos.
All right.
Get to this. All right.
Please, thank you.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. You go ahead, speak your mind.
Oh, okay. I came up here because I feel like this is like a trauma response, just because one celebrity out in the news area gets slammed with child support or however, all of these men, they get riled up and they feel like they're being slammed too. but it only happened to him, and he slept with that woman, and he has to take responsibility. He might have to go to court, he might have to fight the case, but these are actions, right? He displayed his actions, and so these are the repercussions of his actions.
Um, I think your feeling of the situation isn't
Mm-hmm.
actually what's going on. And you probably came into this whole thing later on, but this is an example of what goes on
Uh-huh.
nationwide, in every class, in every race, when it comes to men and women in court. That's what that's what the problem normally is. See, like there isn't a. I asked this question earlier. What can a mother do in court to actually lose custody?
She could do a lot.
No, she can't.
Yes, if she's taking drugs, if she doesn't provide a safe home for the child isn't going to school every single day. It's a lot of things. If the child
Doesn't
feels
lose
like
custody. She
his or
doesn't
her
lose custody.
safety,
Doesn't
yes,
lose custody. I'm talking about permanently, not temporarily. Because see what you,
permanently,
yeah,
permanently will have to be something like drugs or have to be something like
nope,
child endangerment.
nope. Because with drugs, you know what happens? They go somewhere else. If they take the kid out of the home, they go somewhere else. They tell them they got to get clean. After they get clean, they get the kid back. Endangerment is
Okay,
the
but
same situation. They get the kid back.
the, the question is though, right? Like, why are you trying to take the kid away from the mom? If the dad is there and he's well capable of taking care of the child, then so be it. But if the dad is not there, wouldn't the child want to be brought up by his biological parents?
If the mother's on drugs and the dad is not on drugs, the mother's going to get the kid before the dad. If the mother endangers the child and the dad doesn't endanger the child, the mother is going to get the kid before the dad. When I
That's not that's not true. Like if you go in the
that's
court system,
absolutely true.
you can prove your case. You can get a lawyer. Like you can prove your
Yeah,
case. Like
you can get
that's
a lawyer, you can prove your case, but the vast majority of those cases, mother's going to win, even if the child's endangered, even if she's on drugs.
I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of men get custody of their kids
you
nowadays. I
you
don't.
have been seeing more men get custody of their
Yeah,
kids these days because it's on
many.
social media, but it's still 9 times out of 10 men lose.
I mean, the only way you'll lose is if you don't have a steady job, you don't have a place to put the kids. If the children haven't been with you, it might be a tug of war. But
Nope.
if you come in there and you got all your ducks in a row,
That,
I'm pretty
if
sure you have a high chance of the judge
Nope.
favoring you.
Nope. Because if you have all your ducks in a row and you have a stable job, you know what that means? You can pay child support. That's all that means. That's it. Jan, I see you in the back. I'm gonna get to you, fam. Just give me a few minutes. See what most guys are talking about is there's really not a scenario. Like, let me say this to you. Do you know there are women who've gotten their children killed, and they had more than one kid, and they got the other children? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but think about it. How did that happen? I'm just saying, I feel like two parents should be able to work together and come up with a plan or something legitimate where both of you guys are able to live your life and able to take care of your children. Like,
Yeah,
at the
but
end of the day, at the end of the
that doesn't
day,
work.
it's the children who suffer. It's not really us. And it's us too, because if one parent is taking on most of the responsibilities, then that parent, that parent doesn't have enough time to do other things that they would want to do. So
Have you?
that's just that.
Let me say this. When guys are talking about what happens in family court, there's
Mm-hmm.
only really one scenario, one that can absolutely work for a guy. and that is if when a kid is born or you don't have a child support or court agreement, if you see early on or whenever you see if y'all don't have an agreement, you take the kid. And you got to take the kid and make sure the mother don't see the kid and deal with the kid until you through with court. That's it. The only other chance you got if the mother has a boyfriend and the boyfriend abuses the child and they like she got a man in the house, because if she get rid of the guy, she keeps the kid. If she stays with the guy, you might get the kid, and 9 times out of 10 they gonna split it between, they gonna give the kid to either you, or more times out of not, give it to the mother's mother. See what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know. This is my thing right here, right? Like, you have two people that are both adults, right? And they have a child, right? Like, somebody has some hurt feelings or vengeance of why you guys can't come together and make up a plan, which both of you are able to see each other, see the children, and coordinate. Like, you picked up the child, I pick up the child, I do this, I can help out with this. There has to be some kind of like something mean spirited in somebody that will not allow that to happen, because if both people are healed, they wouldn't care. Like, they would be trying to help
Yeah.
each other out. But you got people here that are making children who haven't healed their trauma. They have a child, and having that child is just a situation that's reoccurring triggers, like, from your childhood.
So
And
so
that's what's happening right now.
yeah, but okay, even from what you're saying, I'll say you're being idealistic, but even from what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
most of those traumas and triggers are coming from mom to the child.
No, both men too.
No,
Men
no,
and yes. I
no,
listen, don't come up here and just say his mom. Is both people.
no, 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 no,
It's
no, no.
both.
Listen to me
It's
closely. What I'm about
both.
to say. Listen to me closely.
Good.
What I'm about to say. The reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is because when it comes to the court system and kids, mom predominantly has the bulk of the time with the child. A lot of the times, the fathers and the children don't really have a cohesive relationship because the mother interferes with it. So most of
Okay,
the triggering comes from mom.
question. Law movement. You seem like a very smart individual, right? Let's say you've been on this earth for quite some time, right? Let's say if you are, let's put you in the court system and you are the judge, right? Right? Who would you give the custody to?
I'm gonna tell you this before I answer you. I already dealt with all
Good.
of this stuff and I wrote a book on this stuff. The way the court system works, and the reason I wound up writing a book, because the way that I got done in court, I had to tell my friends behind me who were going to go to court how to deal with it before they got there. Okay, so the way the court system works, basically, in my opinion, if I was a judge, I would basically do it age and gender appropriate. So if you're a mother and you got a son, you can have him till he about 9. Dad got to have him after that. If you're a father and you got a daughter, you can have the daughter till she about 9. After that, mom got to have him, because you can't a man can't raise a girl to be a woman and a woman can't raise a boy to be a man. But
Okay,
in our country,
mm-hmm.
what the court does is it basically goes on an old model of the man is the provider, the woman stays home. So now so he works and she's going to be at home with the kids. And the problem winds up being that the court doesn't enforce when the mom's doing bad parenting. The court only enforces what they deem as fathers being bad parents. So there's no recourse for bad parenting when it comes to mothers.
I'm confused. So, like, what you mean by bad parenting? Nobody's gonna go in your home and tell you you're a bad parent unless your child is falling back in school, getting
Right.
bullied,
Okay.
skipping school, or something like that, or something
Exactly.
drastically is happening. Other
So
than that, nobody's gonna come in your house and tell you how to run your child.
that's the point. But kids who have issues at school, they stay with mom. Kids who have issues in society, they stay with mom. Kids who have issues in even in daycare, they stay with mom. You get what I'm saying? So, and when I say bad parenting, the bad parenting comes when because those kids ain't gonna be in the house 24/7. They're gonna be out in society. So when they're out in society and people are like, yo, you got to do something with this kid, that gets back to the courts. But when it's a mom, the courts don't care. They keep just giving her time and time. I'm sorry.
I think this is like a belief that you strongly believe this.
Okay, watch this. My son, when he was in daycare, he got kicked out of daycare because he tried to stab one of the ladies in daycare because he didn't want to go to sleep, and he was always calling the ladies bitch because he learned how to cuss from his mom, and his mom didn't want him to put him to sleep on a regular basis. This wound up in court, and you know what happened? They was like, you know what? He's not going to be in daycare forever. He's going to go to school. Thus, as he got older, this same type of behavior kept happening and happening and happening and happening. My son graduated high school January. And the reason he graduated high school is because he got kicked out of high school and wound up going to an alternative school because he got in trouble with teachers again. And he had gotten in trouble in the interim. And what I'm telling you is, in the interim, he's lived with me multiple times. And he's gotten right multiple times. And then mom got involved multiple times and it went back. And then we had to go back to court. And I'm not the only guy like this. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but you're taking your situation and you're basing it on every single situation that's out here.
No, I
Like
said I'm not the
I
only
can take
guy
I
like
can
this.
take my what if I was to take my situation and I derailed and I slammed like all these men out here? I don't do that. Like, you know?
Hold up, Jan, I'm gonna be there. No. I'm not. Most men who have children and who have went into the family court system, they know multiple men who've been in the family court system. What I'm saying to you isn't like a one-off. You get it? What I'm saying is just a normal procedure of, like, let's just say if the situation was reversed, right? If it was me, because I had my son in daycare too, because I had custody of him even in the age of daycare because she wasn't doing right, so I wound up having him, right? If he would have did the same thing that he was doing with his mother, I would have had, what do they call it? I would have had supervised visitation. You see what I'm saying? If it was the same thing and
You're saying that if your son was acting up while he was with you, they would take the child away and make you have supervised visitation.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't be labeled as a good dad.
Exactly.
So you're trying to say that the standards for you are really high, but she can make as many mistakes as she wants, but it will be passed over.
Absolutely. That's the normal process of the court system and family courts. That's the normal process. Every state.
I'm
not saying it's fake. I'm not saying it's right. I'm telling you that's exactly what it is.
I feel like this could be fought. That's just me. But I feel like on a deeper level, like, why couldn't you talk to the mom and have a heart-to-heart conversation?
Having a heart-to-heart conversation doesn't work with everybody. Like, don't and this is a general sense for the rest of your time with men in these type of situations. Don't assume that what you asked didn't happen. Most guys who've had situations like this have had the conversations. What I'm telling you is, at the end of the day, what winds up happening is, in a general sense of when you go to court, most mothers know they can agree to something in court on the record, and break that agreement in court and nothing happens. Men can't do that. You see what I'm saying? So what winds up happening is that spills over into the parenting.
I feel like both parents are they can be held up for their actions because I know
No,
women who pay child support also, and women who are trying to fight and get their kids, and they're going the same riffraff that men are
I
saying
know.
that they
Look,
go through.
I know women who pay child support also, and you know what the normal procedure for those women are? First thing that happens normally is the judge tries to make sure the man doesn't make sure she pays child support. That's normally the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens is they normally don't pay at the same rate that a man would normally.
Okay, law movement, like, come on. Do you
I'm
think
dead serious.
everybody out here, do you think most men out here are paying a lot of money in child support every single month?
I'm
Do
not
you
even
think these
saying
women are really getting that money?
most men are
Come
paying
on.
child support for one. Most men paying a lot. I said it earlier. Most men
Uh-huh,
are paying
uh-huh.
child support and medical. So when you add both of those up, that's normally over $10,000.
I'm gonna be honest. I really don't be seeing that. I see that some women
What's
have to
okay?
go on like
Wait,
welfare
right.
or e benefits,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the only way that they get the child
Uh,
support. Other than that, they
that's not
won't
for.
pay or
That's
they
not.
get jailed.
That's not for
I'm
child
just
support. With
that
that,
is
let
for
me.
child
No,
support. If
no,
you
no,
go
no.
on welfare or go on e benefits, they're
Right.
gonna make you pay child support. They're gonna make
No,
the
no.
man pay the
Right.
child support.
That's true. What I'm saying is in those scenarios, a lot of times when, especially with younger women, what they do is they get on that stuff because all of that stuff has an income basis. You can't make if you make over a certain amount of money, they'll never give it to you.
Yeah, you won't qualify.
So what a lot of people did, and they still do, not as much as they used to, they purposely don't make enough money. And what winds up happening to them over time is even if the guy pays a good amount of child support, the state takes all that money. And then the
Yeah.
girl smartens up, and then she actually starts working and making more money, and then she keeps the money, and the state stops taking it. So a lot of times it's not just they did that stuff, but they jammed themselves up. The guy could be paying hundreds to $1,000 a month. It's just, guess what? She's not gonna see it because she got all that WIC or e benefits. That's what took it. He's still paying it. That's what's taking the money.
And this is
That,
not me. I'm not trying to like say that women should take advantage of the situation or anything like that. But if you have the mother of your children, you will want her to be in the best condition to take care of your child, mentally, physically, even financially.
that
Because at the end of the day, how she feels and what she does, that's going to be the output of your children.
but that becomes, that in itself is a good idea, but that doesn't work in practical application.
Because people
Because
are selfish. Yeah, yeah. People think they don't have to pay, they don't got to do
no, no, no,
anything.
no,
And a
no,
lot of men just like to complain because that's,
no.
everybody gets to congregate and talk about these women and the court case and
That's not what you're saying. And you know how somebody says, if they want to be in a relationship that makes them happy, you get what I'm saying?
yeah.
But happiness is in your control, not another person. When it comes to good well-being, it's the same thing as far as parenting. It's in your control to be in a good space, not another person's. So even if that person does help in all these other ways, if you're in control of if you're going to be in a good space or not. You can't make
But
somebody else in control of that.
if you don't have money to put food on the table, that might affect you being in a good space. If you don't have money to provide or buy clothes for the children, you won't be in a good
Yeah,
space,
but
You like needs, yeah.
most guys who even pay child support, most of us, we pay child support, we pay medical, and then we wind up paying for food and clothes. There's a point that guys stop because they're getting used. So when it comes to that, a lot of that is like, you know, they buy the clothes, they buy the food.
Are you?
It,
But are they really being used? I mean, she's taking
yes,
care of a whole nother human being.
no, because a lot
I
of
can
these kids
understand
aren't
being
actually being
used.
taken.
Yeah, a
A
lot.
lot of no, I get what you're saying, but a lot of these kids aren't
Yeah.
actually being taken care of the way you think. Just
You're
because you
right.
had,
Some people, you're right. You're right. I'm not gonna. I will agree with you with that. Some people are ratchet and they don't really care for their kids. You know,
that's
I agree.
that becomes the issue when even in those scenarios when when the mother knows she's not taking care of a kid and the court knows the mother's not taking care of a kid, that doesn't stop the court from saying, hey, you keep the kid.
No, because you have to like prove that she's not taking care, and then
Oh,
you have to prove that you could provide a better environment.
normally, normally, for guys who wind up quote unquote on child support, the majority of those guys have a better environment because they have to, because they have to be on their P's and Q's in order to pay the child support and the medical expense.
That's not true.
I'm gonna tell.
Uh-uh.
Okay, what do you
No.
watch this? What is medical insurance family cost?
You know what? For some good medical insurance, it depends on what plan you get, but it could
Right,
range you from
but
like,
but you
five
but as a
hundred to
man,
thousands. So
but as a man, if you have kids, you have to pay. You have to take the family cost. You can either do the person and one kid, if you have one, or you're gonna have to do the family plan, which normally is somewhere between $7,000 to $10,000 a year. And seven, no, I ain't gonna say seven to
you can
ten,
find
but
something a
seven
little bit
to
better.
I would say maybe 7 to 9. No, those are the best plans.
Yeah, those are the best. You don't have to get the
No, no,
best,
no.
best, but you can find something about $300 to $500 a month. They want to know my
Not
age.
not
I am
not
in my 30s.
not for the family plan. You can't.
Yes, you can
No,
because all
no,
right. So me,
because
I
the
have
family plan
benefits.
is right. The family
Look,
plan is going to charge you $300 every 2 weeks at a minimum. At a
maybe
minimum
like 400 a month if you find a good one. I mean, you can always price it and pick whichever one you want.
for you.
There's
For
always there's
you,
open enrollments there's open
right?
enrollment every year, and then you can
My
pick a
bad, y'all.
plan.
Sorry about that, y'all. There's open enrollments every year, but the older you get, the
Yeah, in
older the kids get,
October.
the higher the plan gets.
Yes, unless you lock in the rate and you always pay that
You
every
can't
month.
you can't lock in the rate. If you're the father, you can't lock in the rate. You can't. You know.
I'm on here, young man.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah,
All right,
you
can I
on
say a
here.
few things? I understand the
Yeah.
ladies drunk and everything, but
Hold on for 1 second.
go ahead.
Creative, I'm gonna let you down so y'all can talk. All right.
Okay,
All
Thank
right.
you, young lady. You have a nice evening.
you too.
I got you, y'all.
I like her spunk and everything, man, but listen, man, First thing they need to understand is the court system with the child support that goes directly to the judge's retirement fund. So they get a
True.
percentage of the juvenile. They get a percentage of the child support. That's why they got to put us on there. That's like with the private prisons. They put so many people in jail not because of the crime, because they make so much money every day, every year off of that person. So the judge is a 10W with the Title D 10-4 court, and the judges get a certain percentage of the child support into their retirement plan. That's why they keep going.
Oh, I get it.
Number two is I'm married and my wife don't even do the fuck she's supposed to do. She here with me. I gotta fight with her to do anything for the damn kids, but they don't want to listen. They wasn't raised to. They don't want. They wasn't raised to do what they're supposed to do. They think it's slavery, but they have a kid by you. Then you say, "Hey, I got daughters. Come in here." You got to argue with them to come in here. It's just a fight with trying. It's so frustrating. I got my older daughter. I got a daughter that's 23. I got custody of her like 6 7 years ago. Her mother put her out because of her boyfriend. Her boyfriend didn't want her in the house.
Been
But
there.
once she seen me doing better with her and giving her rules, every day I come home, she in front of my house. What is you in front of my house for? You put the girl out. So what she ended up doing was when I wasn't around, she took my daughter and kidnapped her and took her to California.
Been there.
They made it seem to me like she ran away, but no, she came and got her and took her to California and all that.
Look,
And now my
look.
daughter has a child.
Hold on, hold that thought. Creative. I hope you just heard that because I told you numerous guys in that situation because I was in the same situation. So
She
I don't
took my
even know
daughter.
Yon. I don't even know Yon, and it's the same exact situation.
I fought to get them kids, and then it's like the whole time is like, just growing up with them was a fight because she want to run around to the club. I had to worry every day if there's a guy touching my kid, what's going on? Because every day she dropping them off somewhere. It's like, why don't you just give them to me? She don't want to give them to me. She want the child support and she wants the taxes, which is crazy. So, and now we still have a strained relationship to this day because I stand on rules and the kids don't want no rules. So they don't want to come around me because I'm the mean daddy because I'm trying to get my daughters not to be thoughts.
Been
So
there.
it's so frustrating. And then it gets to the point where you don't want to talk to them. Like my other daughter, she just cussed me out the other day. After I do all these things for her, she acting like I owe you something. Your mom is the one who didn't take care of you. I tried to get you from her. She didn't want to cooperate with me. So it's like, at what point do I supposed to keep taking abuse because you're my child? It's like one while something happened where she didn't have them. The courts didn't even want to contact me and let me know they had them. Because sometimes I don't know when she gets sometimes I don't have a number for them. It's crazy.
And you got to go, and all it does is waste time to try to find them. Because by the
Man.
time you find them, the courts, well, they're already there and they're already adjusted. And even though
So
they
look,
did all those things,
I got custody of my child. They still had me paying child support, and I had her.
been there too,
Bro.
And tell them the other part of the story.
They would not give me child support for her.
There you go. Thank you. And they won't pay you back for what she owes. She don't get to owe nothing. But if the shoe's on the other foot, you owe.
I had to pay for her lawyer too. That's crazy. I'm paying for my lawyer, and I had to pay for her lawyer. It's just draining on you. You get so straight. Then it's like they don't understand. If you put me on child support, I gotta work another job. Then they say, "Well, spend time with them." How can I? I'm paying you $1,000 a month. It's like, man.
And that's cynical. I see you backstage. I'm gonna get you in a second. But
you can come in with us if you want to. I don't mind. I'm very popular. Then it's like you're buying clothes, and then you send them. You never see the stuff again. They send just junk back to you. It's like, man. Even though my father get on my nerves, I had to tell him I love him, man. I understand.
He said, "Now I see, Dad. Now
I understand, man. Mama got you thinking it's him all his life. Nah, it's her." So, and like I said, I love my wife to death. I'm married, but to get them to cooperate with you, they don't want to cooperate. It's like a fight. It's like, it makes you want to give up, man. Sometimes I would be feeling like I want to kill myself. I couldn't see my kids, man.
Yeah, I've been there too. That was one of the reasons I did YouTube, because I was like, you got to find hobbies.
You gotta let go, man, and get to the point where I had to let go and hope for the best. Cause and I don't mean to be mean. And the hurtful part is when you love somebody and they do you like that with your kids. Like, damn, is it that bad? I don't even bother you. It's like, then the part making mad about the courses. If she can't take care of them in the first place, why am I paying her?
That's what I was trying to explain to the young lady.
Why am I paying for her if she can't? Why they just don't give them to me if she can't?
Could you explain to people? Explain even to the lady. When you say if you paying $1,000 a month, how much was you paying in medical insurance and dental that year?
300, like 13 something. And then it's the catch. Hold on, this the worst part. This is the catch of it. If you don't pay extra, how I still owe money at the end of the year? Y'all taking out my check. I had to figure out you gotta pay extra little on top because how am I still owing?
Because they make you pay every year. They make you pay child support every year to pay child support.
No, I'm saying they charging fees and don't tell you that they charging extra fees on top. And you're like,
they charge you a yearly fee for child support. That's outside of your child support payment.
But they don't add it in the child support though. So you're in the arrears, so now you gotta pay an extra $60 a month because you're in the arrears because you didn't know that they charge a fee. It's like,
yep,
it's crazy, bro. Make you want to run up in that courtroom and do the Samuel Jackson.
I was trying to tell people that,
Man, it's like my kids be like, "Well, Daddy, why don't you be nice to her? This bitch trying to destroy me." It took me a long time to be able to even say hi to her, man. Because, bro, and it's like, man. Then it's like I got a daughter, so it's like really nervous because I don't know. She's, With your daughters, you don't want nobody touching them. Your son too, but I think son's a little more resilient. It's than with your daughters, man. They so they get touched a certain way. They come now. They start liking that 'cause that's their nature. It's like it's crazy, bro.
I
So
got you.
I ain't mad at the young lady. I understand your spunk. I wish you was my baby mama. That's how you was. Shit, we
That is,
all take you. You can have
yeah.
all our kid. But man, when you get that one to be mad, like man, and then it's like the sad thing is this the catcher. Now my daughter has a child. She doing her father the same
The
way.
same way, and act like ain't nothing wrong.
I'm like, well, what did he do? I don't like that he did this. So I went downtown. We broke up for a couple of weeks. I went and put on. I said, well, why would you do that to the young man for? Because it's my baby. It's my baby. I'm like, wow. She poisoned you. So it's getting passed down hereditary. And it's sad because they keep saying we the worst men. But without you, I can be good by myself. But we can't build. We can't redeem ourselves and catch up to the other people if you are against me. You have my child. So how can I build anything for them if you're not trying to cooperate? I want to go to our own hospitals. I want our own schools. I want our own electrical company. We can't do that if you're not cooperating. You know?
That becomes a problem. Cynical, what's up?
Go ahead, bro.
All
How you
right.
doing, brother? I mean to be rude. How you doing, Mr. Cynical guy? I'll fall back.
Hey, man, it's all good. I was trying to let you get your stuff out. Y'all can hear me loud and clear too?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Let me see. But turn this off real quick. Okay. So, first things first, to Miss Creative, I can definitely appreciate the fact that she was able to at least acknowledge that not everybody was messed up. It's rare that I hear or see a woman or talk to a woman and not using generalization saying everybody's this and everybody's that. That was a breath of fresh air. Now, as for the stories of the chicks that have been messing up and they still get custody no matter what, I can think of a few stories. It's a young lady I used to work with, living out of hotels. If you listen to her talk, she almost brags about it in a way, about how she continued to make stupid choices. L.A.R, you said a while back in a video how men sometimes get sick because they're so busy working to take care of the family. Her dad got sick. And before he died, he told her, look, you gotta stay out of trouble. You can't keep going to jail. You got these kids to take care of. She got arrested one last time after he died, and then she got the kids back. I don't know where either of the daddies are, but I know she's got custody. She's living in hotels. She's a part-time streetwalker, in addition to having her flavor of the week showing up whenever just around her and her kids. That's a dangerous situation because that opens up the door to some little ones getting the struggle snuggled, or like she claims, people giving recreational pharmaceuticals to her kids or beating them. Another situation I can think of, a young lady, her mom broke the family up, and then when the dad asked about getting custody, she decides she all of a sudden want to be super mom now. You're not going to take my children away from me. You're not going to break up my family. But then when I was dealing with this young lady, there would be times where she'd break down crying because I was telling her truths about her abusive ass mom that she couldn't even defend. Another situation, yet another lady constantly making stupid choices. Baby daddies, she seems to have a thing for guys that get arrested and get locked up. So she's raising 4 kids by herself. Same thing, hotel. She done burned so many bridges with her own family. You can't even move back in with nobody. And it's at this point when I really think about it, I've lost count of these stories that I've heard. There are some guys out there that are indeed trash, but the standards are pretty high up. If you're no, Miss Creative, no. Hang on, but here's the funny part, because this is something else I alluded to in a comment that got brought up. There are women that do like to say, go ahead, fill me up. And then they change their mind after the fact and decide that they suddenly want to keep the kid, even though it was agreed upon that you were gonna handle that, whether it be with a morning after pill or whatever else. So the first 2 women I laid down was trying to mess with me, tried to conveniently forget that they were on their medication, the morning after the birth control, or they tried to fake a pregnancy to get me to stick around. So it's like it's and again, some guys do that same thing, but
it is not at that level though.
Right.
Like the percentage of men doing that and women are doing that are on completely different levels.
Yeah. So that was about it. And fortunately, I didn't wind up getting either of them pregnant, you know, but to tap on to what Jan says, because again, no kids here. And when I hear about how some of these dudes that actually love their kids, spirit tells you to keep the baby. I can imagine so, yeah. Because when my ex did what she did, because it was a lot of messed up stuff behind that, I was I was angry with her. I found myself in a situation where she was trying to pull paternity fraud on me to get
Oh,
me to take care of another man's kid
that
after she
happened to me.
yeah, tried that, tried to get me to take care of the other man's kid. I'd already been, trying to pay for dates and stuff like that for months. Didn't know she was pregnant. Didn't pay attention to the fact that the time of the month hadn't came for a few months. And it's like you could have just broke up with me, but now you're in a position where you feel like you got to get rid of this kid to keep me around. When all you had to do was break up with me, and you could have went and been with him and been happy, had your kid and everything. It wasn't even my kid. I was pissed. I was violently angry. I remember I had
Wow.
to get up and leave the house on more than one occasion to keep from doing something to her, not just behind the cheating, but because of the suffering she inflicted on herself that was not necessary. So if I had a child of my own that got taken away from me, I I don't think it would be too far fetched for me to sit outside of a courtroom, maybe near the street where the judges and stuff got to come out and wait for the judge.
No, we say that on the internet, bro.
No,
I'm
I
no,
know.
saying,
no. Listen,
I know what you said though.
no, I really brought that up earlier because I was telling people, like I said, when it comes to this political climate, people assume that like if people win or don't win, they're gonna be people in the streets rioting. And I was saying, like, y'all making a bad assumption thinking it's just gonna be political. Some people gonna use that as cover to go after these people in these family court situations.
Yeah.
And I'm
And you
not
know what
lying.
though? Yeah, you're right. And you know the worst thing about it is they only do it to the one that want to take care of the child. The ones that don't want to do, they don't listen, man.
They don't
Even
play
in
that
my
game
case,
before.
now I'm with somebody. I'm gonna keep it. Her kid father is terrible. Would you think I get respect and I take care of my? No, they get the ones. Listen, man. They'll seek you out and know that you are good for. Like for example, I've dated a couple women with children. They will seek you out and try to trap you, right? And you be the one. Okay, well, this is my child. I'm gonna take care of mine. They disrespect you, but the one that don't do nothing, they don't disrespect them. They don't put them on child support.
I
They get
literally,
you out of here.
I literally made an offer to a chick once. I'm not gonna be your punching bag for what somebody else did. If you really have an
Yeah.
issue, we can go to his house and I'll let you say or do what you want with him. Crickets.
No, that's
Now,
still they love it. That's the one they love. Don't
right,
fall for that. They know you gonna be the one to take care of the child, but they love him because he called her
right.
a bitch and don't give a fuck.
Oh no, I got to the point where I didn't give a fuck either. It's just, a lot of folks when they talk certain ways, they don't stand by it. Now the
Yeah, I
other
know,
thing,
man.
the
You
other
know,
thing, and there's a message. What lessons did you learn? Mistakes
I'm
did
a,
you?
and you know the most painful thing is when you see your kids are mentally destitute and
let,
you
let me
can't do nothing
let,
about it.
let,
That
let
shit hurt
me
bad, bro.
if let me say this to Jada because I said this early on in this podcast.
Hmm.
When it comes to this like family court situation, and tell me if I'm wrong, guys, when I make this statement. I look at single mothers in family court have the same amount of leeway in the legal system as cops who beat black men with excessive violence. To me it's the same legal recourse.
It is.
So
It's a mental thing. It's mental, man. It's
so the reason Jada, so you can get what I'm about to say is this. It's really not a lesson for a lot of guys to learn when it comes to these family court situations, because basically the women in the courts have all the power, and then you really see where a person's really gonna act. Yeah, like a lot of times you ladies are looking at these situations and thinking that women are altruistic and they got morals and they got integrity and they got dignity. They do not.
Think about
he's yeah, my bad.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No,
I'll
go ahead.
tap in after LAR
I didn't mean
speaks.
to cut you off. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm good.
Just think about how many men. Listen. Think about how many men is paying child support for kids that's not even theirs. If they wouldn't have got a paternity test, they get one late in the game. Think about how many man. This chick gave this kid my name, my last name, everything, bro. Like that paper said 99 point. I had to shed a tear, man. Not about I was. It's just I said these motherfuckers is evil. I'm not scared of no man. Man's just we just gonna fight or. But a woman that's mad at you, boy, that's something different.
Here comes the false struggle snuggle claims, the false child abuse claims, all kinds of other stuff. Matter of fact, I didn't have some chicks make some claims up about me, and it was funny because again, consider how that could have went between me and the people they told. It's like, you sure you want to do that? Because I want to be
See,
left. Yeah,
I'm gonna say this, and I ain't even bring this point up, but a lot of guys haven't even told the stories of if you are the boyfriend to a woman with a child, and you try to tell that woman like, "Yo, you need to stop playing these games and let this father be a father to this kid." Y'all normally break up because she don't even want that. Normally, the dude she's gonna stay with is normally the dude that's gonna make sure the father can't see his kid.
Mm-hmm.
LAR, I believe you did a video on that last year.
I'm shit. If I might have, I don't know. I done some of the videos.
It was except the dad wound up losing his life at the hands of
yeah. When the
Yeah.
dude shot him on the front porch because basically the mother set him up because it was a white couple in Texas here in Texas.
Yeah. And then here's the other funny part about that folks, I don't think they really taken into account when you play that game. Let's just say it does go that far. I'm a firm believer. Don't act like you want to fight or say something that could start a fight if you ain't prepared for it to go to whatever bitter end it goes to. So now the kid's beefing with you because you took his daddy out. And you in the house with that is a bad spot to be in.
Because at some point he might do the same to you now.
Mm-hmm. He ain't gonna be little forever.
And you know the sad part is about all of it is we brothers love the sisters so much, man. We don't want to date other women. They just
No, we don't.
It really don't like with this
I'm
stuff.
understanding something. We rather be with Keisha though. But she crazy.
No, like it really like what I'm saying. Even with this stuff, when it comes to family court, look, you've seen it with Jeezy and Jenny Ma. She Asian. You've seen it with Kanye and Kim Kardashian.
Don't matter.
She Arab or whatever. You've seen this. What I'm saying is you've seen this whole scenario play out where the minute a man in court get involved, all that love and we cool, all that go out the window.
Out the window.
Out the window. Even with this Tyrese situation, this girl did a complete 180 as a human being from everything that she was on at the beginning and now.
That was her trick. She was playing. They be tricking you, man. They trick you. You know the sad part. This is the real sad part of this. Like usually we make this mistake when we're young, and they know we're not in a position to do. So they try to destroy you while you build yourself. That's the crazy part.
Yep.
You can't even. I had to start my own business. I ain't gonna lie. I had to scrap the child support for like 5 years because I had to go outside and get my own business just because. Man, sometimes I had like $100 on my check, bro. It's crazy, man. I had to go out and start my own business and then pay the money on my own versus because every time I get paid, it's like then you want to see your kids. So it's like now the money I got left, they come over, I got to buy them food. Then they always say you don't do nothing for them. So if you don't buy the kids nothing, let them visually see it, they're gonna hate you.
Yeah, it's like that with grown folks too, man.
Yeah, then Christmas time comes like, which I don't believe in all that now, but Christmas time coming, the kids don't understand. I done bought Christmas twice.
Yeah.
You know,
Just,
did it twice, and she get her money back in a month. I don't get nothing.
like using this Tyrese situation, right? A lot of times people don't like because it's a lot of money involved. A lot of times, and most men in all classes understand this story. After Tyrese finished paying that child support, guess what that kid gonna want?
A car.
Walk up, hey daddy, how you doing? They gonna suddenly want a relationship because mom ain't gonna want nothing to do with them.
And that relationship is gonna involve what? Could you please get me on my feet as an adult?
Yeah.
Man.
Because they ain't got nothing.
It's like you can't even get them. What did she do with all this money? Man, yeah.
So Yeah, so after Tyrese, since he got to pay $10,000 a month, after he paid this damn near $1 million for this kid, he already know I got to have another $1 million on the side just to get this kid started in life. Because somehow my, you know, good good mother of a baby mama, she gonna be all on the internet doing the most.
Who else did that to him? 50 Cent. Look how his son did him. Look how
Oh,
50 Cent. That was crazy. Yeah.
but but I'm gonna say this about even about 50. You notice after the kid went off, he ain't a kid. After he went off a couple of years ago, talking about it ain't enough money. You notice you ain't seen him on social media since. Because as an adult, everybody got at him about that.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't seen his ever since that last little thing. He 25, 27, talking about that ain't enough money for me. Ever since that happened, you ain't seen that dude on social media since.
He said he paid that mother like $4.3 million. He ain't had no house. That's crazy, man. So they say rich people got power, but no man in this country got no power, man. Once you sign that contract or you get that they get that child support, it's over with, man. It's like you in
They
purgatory
don't,
for the next 18 years.
Jada. There is no child support. You thinking of like Australia, Canada, Europe. They ain't no child support in like no Africa, and I don't even think there's in certain parts of Asia. Like they don't. They have a thing where like, yo, if you want to go down that road, you on your own. The Western laws are completely different from the rest of the world.
Yes.
And I'm not, yeah, go ahead, my bad.
If I'm correct, China's currently dealing with a situation of a low birth rate too. I think they're more worried about finding men for their women because I done seen plenty of ads. Hey, come to China. Hey, come to this country. Come to that country. Because so if it's not that many women getting married, it's probably not that many having children. But since I'm not an expert, so I would say my opinion on that matter ain't too much.
You know, they try to tell me third world countries have child support. Not like, listen.
Right. In them countries, they got traditional laws. You know, they ain't. I'm gonna say
There's
one
certain
last
things
thing
you
about
can't
here.
do.
Your book was wonderful, man. I got your book. I've been watching you for years, man. So you a good dude. I understand, man. You've helped me a lot, man, mentally and just talking to your brother sometimes, you know. But this is the craziest part about it all when you realize it's all voluntary. They trick us when you in there and you try to do the right thing and you show up.
It ain't even just the
It's
because
voluntary.
it's not really voluntary.
I mean,
It's
not
not.
under duress, but it is voluntary. Once you go in there and you go that first court date and you acknowledge and you sign anything, that's when it become that's when it become a contract.
The reason why I must say is voluntary. Like the issue with the court is you have no control. Like it's voluntary if you know I might as well go because I already know how this gonna go.
Yeah.
And most guys, that is not really voluntary. You kind of like, here we go. I already know.
Mm-hmm.
Because most guys, if y'all don't know this, one of the things that guys do, they'll and people think guys just go to court and file for child support on themselves. No, normally you file for custody. But you know you're not going to get custody. So basically you start the process and they put you on child support first and try to give you a quote unquote discount because you started the process. But they never give you the doggone kid. So for all y'all folks who assume that guys just go to court and say, I just want to pay child support, Your Honor, that's not how they go.
Yep, and it's like, like I said, the hardest thing in the world is watching your kid not develop right, man. You gotta accept them. Like my one daughter, she's so ghetto, and it just kill me, man. I be so sad, man, when she get to open her mouth, as beautiful as she is, man. All I can do is pray, man. Many days, All right, brothers, I appreciate you, man. You a good dude, man. We're gonna keep our head up, and man, we're gonna start banding together and get these laws changed one way or another, man.
I keep saying the laws ain't finna change. Guys, just stop participating.
Guys gonna have to back out. That's the only thing that's gonna
guys
work.
just stop participating.
I've been telling the little homies, man. Don't even look, man. Only get some when you absolutely mean it. Shoot 12 times a year, once a month. Make sure you
No,
got. Make sure you strap up. And not even that much. If you can go less than that, you know.
like even if you notice, like you said about like y'all said about China, you know the thing about Japan. That's why they had the Roe versus Wade here, because guys are not having kids like that. They're not getting people pregnant like that.
Man,
they already know. Like this about to be the next country that have this country already has an issue with birth rates.
It's a certain group in particular that ain't having kids. That's what they paranoid about. I was talking about it with my mom. I said, Timothy's gonna be real mad when he sees Guinevere is having little John's kids.
No, he's not, because you know they people don't realize over the years them white boys got thrown under the bus in these child support courts. They don't care like that.
They do bread
really, exactly.
They do bread dirty too.
They don't care like that. They like, you know what? I ain't gonna do it no more. Period. Like I ain't having, forget it.
Every time if I was single, anytime I talk to a chick, I'm thinking, that's a deal. That's a car note.
People don't want to hear the truth, but a lot of you sisters don't want. One thing I know to be true, there's a lot of white guys who like black women.
Yep.
But a lot of times when white guys mess with black women, they go raw on y'all, and they don't ever have kids because they make sure y'all take all them pills and all that other stuff. Y'all don't really get pregnant by white dudes like that as much as y'all be screwing them.
But they're not as fertile as us either, though, bro.
Bro, them white dudes be banging the same black chicks for years, and every now and then you catch them, they get a baby. No. Even when they go to these celebrity couples, you ever notice how the black women be with the dude 4, 5, 6 years and never have a baby?
But you know what though? They give them another respect. They take all the precautions with them because they listen to them. They don't listen to us. They make sure they, you know, when it comes to them, hey baby, take this after pill. Okay, baby. Because they just offer they all in the hope. With us, it's just give another sucker. But they moms teach them that though. They teach them to, you know, to play these games and be disrespectful and, you know, bag you once so you can get a check for 18 years, and you know, it's just a whole depression, man. I don't even want to talk about it, man, because I get angry.
Go ahead, get out of here, man. I'm gonna shut it down in a minute too.
I love y'all, brothers. Have a nice night, man. I don't even want to get mad. I was in a good mood. All right, brothers, y'all have a nice night, man.
You got it. Peace.
L.A.R, I'm gonna go ahead and get down too. My only comments were like before, just towards the young lady. I don't really think I have anything else of value to add.
It's all good, man. I'm gonna shut it down in a second. So, shoot, I appreciate you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. So, y'all, I'm finna close this thing out. So get ready for the outro, man. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this, spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me. Yeah, gotta put it all in. And they are Superman all the way. I guess I'm taking off the cape through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break. Me, I ain't coming back. I got one life to live. If you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me. Plus when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you still follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound. But I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends is Justice League. Only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke. Then again, it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I'll finish it. Lois, come holler at me. I got an iced couch. Thank you. Coming out. Listen. listen. I knew you would like it cause we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.